Roshi, Goku, and Oolong. Substitute and accessory. Well, time to whip out those poles and juggle some balls. Hey, Great Figure Man here. I'm here with another behind the scenes with a scene video. So I'm going to do the Dragonball mid-episode eye catcher cutscenes. There's actually two from the series I'm going to focus on. The first one being is the Blue Gi Goku holding the umbrella, juggling some Dragon Balls on it that's being thrown to him by Oolong. In this case, we're substituting Oolong with Krillin. The second one, which happens on later in the series, is the Orange Gi Goku after he's been training with Roshi. It's those two kind of having a bit of a spar. Goku using his power pole and Roshi and his staff. First one Roshi blocks it, the second one Goku extends his pole, smacks Roshi in the face. So we'll see what we can do about recreating one pose from each one of them, maybe two. We'll see how it goes. But for now, going to start with the Goku Krillin one. I'll probably grab the balls from these ones as well, just so I have a few extra. So yeah, once we get that done, we'll move on to the second one. So for now, I'll crack these open and we'll start getting the poses sorted out. Okay, so I've got Goku and Krillin basically set up here in the right pose. Goku's got his hands on their user's hold of the pole and just slotted the umbrella in there. And got Krillin here, he's going to have one hand holding a couple of balls, or one, and his other arm is just getting ready to throw a ball out. And then we'll try and get one ball balancing on the umbrella, and try and get one just floating in the air between as if Krillin's just thrown it. So at the moment, just trying to get him into the right position. Don't want him too close or too far. And we've also got this clear liquid. It's like a museum gel, I believe it was called. It's kind of, I don't want to say sticky, but kind of grippy, and it sets clear after a while. So I'm going to use this to try and hold the balls in Krillin's hand and one on the umbrella, and hopefully that will stop the balls from running away. So first let's get one, put a little bit of gel on the ball. Now I'll stick this one in Krillin's hand. Excellent. I might just have a bit too much of the gel on this, and I'm going to try and get as small amount as possible to hold the ball there. And then I'll take a shot, and then for the next one, I'll line it up and drop it down, and then take a photo. But before I do that, so I don't lose it, I might just put something around the edge here, so when the ball lands, it won't roll off the table. Okay, so I've got the balls in Krillin's hand, got the one balancing on the umbrella, and I've got a couple of the figures and the shippers just onto the side here to stop the fourth ball from bouncing off the table. I'm going to try and take for now, set a timer. Just going to drop it above. And I completely missed that. Okay, so this might take a while to try and get the timing right. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few photos, and then we will skip forward into the next picture. Okay, so I've put the other Goku and Krillin away. I'm going to sit now and do the next photo, which is going to be Goku there using his pole to deflect Roshi's staff. Roshi will be sort of jumping up on an angle, smacking onto it. So to pose Roshi in the right pose, I've got the Tamashi stand. So I'll do this now. Do a speed up run through while I'm doing this, because it's probably going to take a while to get the figures in the right posing, but overall shouldn't be too hard. We've already set up their hands holding the pole. I've got Goku's tail on, and also attached Roshi's shield already with the straps, and got his pole in the right hand. So all we have to do is put Roshi on the stand and get everyone in the right pose and align them up so we can take the photos. So let's get onto it. Man, I never knew Roshi had a part on the back here that popped off that you could put a stand in. That is so cool. So I'm actually using that now to get Roshi in the pose, and it's perfect for holding him up. So I'm just going to use this. Roshi might still be a bit too heavy for the stand, but if that's the case, I'll just get some tape or something just to tape it down on the back there. But this should allow us to get Roshi in the right position, which is great. Okay, so we've got Goku and Roshi set up in the position here. Roshi's being held on by the stand just mentioned before onto the back of his shell. Got his body twisted around his legs there. This pole coming straight down, then Goku holding onto his power pole, hitting Roshi's cane. He's blocking it, so yeah, it's working out really good so far. I'm going to take a couple of photos, then we'll switch around and do the other pose. Okay, so that first pose is done. The next one is going to be Goku using his pole to smack Roshi. So I'm going to take these guys down now and set up that pose so we can take a photo. Okay, so we got Goku and Roshi in the pose. However, I just realised the actual one, Roshi, has his mouth closed. So I'm actually going to pop his head off, change his head, and then we'll get this pose set back up, and then we can take a photo. So yeah, one moment. Okay, so I've got the correct head on Roshi now. Yeah, overall pose is working pretty good. Obviously the pole on the Kid Goku is a bit shorter than what's in the image, and it's a bit hard to get Roshi's arm fully up and around. So instead of kind of straight out his head a little bit, try and cover his hand and angled him a bit more. But yeah, overall it's looking really cool. So I'm going to take a couple of photos, and then we'll jump onto the computer for the editing of all the ones we've taken so far. Okay, so we've got the photos taken and I have them selected and open up on CaptureOne Pro now. The first ones we're going to edit is the Goku and Oolong substitute known as Krillin, throwing the Dragonballz onto the umbrella here. So there's a couple of different photos. We've got these two other ones I picked that I like. And these couple of photos here is just when I was dropping the ball down from above and trying to capture a photo, but there was one or two shots that worked okay, but overall the ball would be slightly blurred, and then when I increased the settings to capture it perfectly, I just wasn't really too happy with the look of everything. But I did like the one where the photo I took was when the ball had actually hit the ground. I thought that actually looked pretty cool, just like there's one there that Goku's missed where he's got one balancing. So I'm going to go with this photo and this one here. If I want one in the middle, I feel like it's just easy enough just to take this bottom ball and Photoshop and move it up. Yeah, so for now for this photo we'll go for these ones. And then the other ones I've got is the Goku and Roshi here, where Roshi's deflecting Goku with his staff, and then one where Goku's smacking Roshi with his power pole. So yeah, overall the editing is not going to be too difficult, especially for these two. It'll be basic adjustments and mostly a crop. Whereas these later photos, going to have to mask them out to get rid of Roshi's stand here. But besides that, nothing too serious. So yeah, just going to start with the basic adjustments first in CaptureOne. The white balance was slightly off when I took the photos, so they're a bit on the warmer side, so I'm going to adjust the white balance first, just to bring it down a little bit cooler. Just fix up the highlights slightly on these guys, brighten up the shadows, a little bit of clarity. Okay, next I just want to adjust the colour balance slightly with the shadows, midtones and highlights. I think the shadows were a bit bright. Bring them down. Right now I'm just seeing, if I go to the extreme on each end, exactly what parts of the image it's adjusting. So this is the mid-tone one here, so it's mostly going to be everything between the shadows and the highlights. So don't need to adjust it too much, just make it slightly brighter so we've got the areas of the chest and legs of Krillin and Goku. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. Over the settings are going to be the same for these two photos. So what I might do is just copy the adjustments and apply it on this one. Yeah, I think that's good, and that way they fully match up as well. Okay, next up is going to open up these two photos in Photoshop, into editing and drop in the Dragonball logo. We'll speed up that footage and then we'll move on to the Roshi Goku photos. Here are the final images. I think they look pretty damn good. The first one for the background colour I stuck as close to original as possible, and for the second one I kind of took some liberties and picked a colour which I thought looks better. I made a mistake of using the auto select tool for these images, and it was a pain in the ass to edit them out. So for the Roshi ones, I'm going to manually do the selection with the magnetic lasso tool for masking, and that should give a better result. A bit more time up front, but less time cleaning up, so I think it's going to be a better option for these photos. Okay, so the overall process for making the Roshi photo here is first going to bring in the background color template that I've got from the image which I edited off camera, and this is using the pink background. I've also got a gradient on it which I think looks really nice, and I've got the Dragonball logo. Next up is just masking them out. As I mentioned before, I'm using the magnetic lasso, just going around the whole image, and I've got a 0.8 feather on it. I feel like this works really good with the figures. If you have a feather too high, it kind of, depending on the area of the figure, it just kind of blends in the background a bit too much, and you kind of want it as sharp as possible to pop out of the background. The main masking will go around outside, and then after that just have to do a few touch-up selections on the inner parts between the leg and the pole, and a few other areas like that, to clear off the old background. Once that's done, I'm going to duplicate the layer and make another mask just for the shadow. That way I can have this on a separate layer, and then I can set the blend to multiply and then drop the opacity a little bit, and this way the shadow reflection will blend in nicely with the pink background as well as the white. You could do it all in the one image, but then if you change the background color, it may not blend as nicely or may stick out a bit too much. So if possible, it's better just to separate them out, and I think it works well in the end. Okay, so that's it for the photos. Please let me know in the comments below which one you prefer, which one's your favourite, and so forth. And also if there's any scenes or photos you want me to recreate in future videos, be happy to give them a try. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Cheers!